Hey guys, James saying, so this is a video about Topaz AI for video enhancement. So I'm 4K James, and
I'm
this is,
1080p, James.
so I want to look at, I'm going to take 1080p James and upscale them to 4K and put it side by side.
I'm not I'm
Yeah,
not I'm not
you're
less.
not any, you're
I'm
not any
I'm
less
not
than I am. I just happen to be
I'm not less.
4K, which
Maybe
is
I'm
better.
less. Yeah, I'm less.
Yeah, so this is 4K shot on a Canon R50. Now they won't be exactly simultaneous, but it's the same camera, the same setting, the same lighting, as long as the sun doesn't disappear. But I want to look at 4K James compared to 1080p, 1080p upscaled to 4K to see how we look side by side. Yeah, so let's get to the comparison because I'm just as good as this. Yeah, so let's get to those videos.
Yeah, get to the videos.
And so here we have this being filmed, and this is 1080p, and I want to upscale it. And I'll put this side-by-side version on the screen of 1080p upscaled to 4K. I like the Topaz AI. This is some updated version. This is August of 2023. So I want to say I used this once in a lot of motion video and a skydiving video, and it did a pretty good job of upscaling the 1080p to 4K and made it look better. But the new improved version, I want to see how this looks. I'm saying, so this is a video about the Topaz AI for video. I had made a video before using it in skydiving. Somebody had shot some free fall footage in 1080p. I wanted it for 4K, and it did a pretty good job. So this is the latest and the new improved version. It also has image stabilization, which I'm going to test that out as well. So here is some video shot with a Canon R50. No image stabilization is on at all. So very shaky, almost to the point of being unusable. So I said, well, let's compare it to this. Topaz has this image stabilization. And so let's see what that is. But you get this weird blurring down here on the concrete and the grass. Back here in the flowers, there'll be some weird blurring. So it's like, oh, it's not very acceptable. So there is a Topaz image stabilization and deblur. I thought this would get rid of the blurring. It's just as bad, if not worse. So I don't think the Topaz AI image stabilization is as good as I want it to be. So let's compare it to Adobe Premiere Warp Stabilizer. So this did an okay job. It did better to me. It's better than the Topaz AI. Not so great when I'm riding a Segway, so there's some movement. And then the last comparison is with Davinci Resolve. Its stabilization, which is just as good. I think is better than Adobe Premiere Pro, the Warp Stabilizer. So to me, Davinci Resolve wins on the stabilization. All right, so guys, so should you get this? What are my thoughts? So I think the Topaz AI does a really good job upscaling 1080p to 4K, and very noticeable difference. So if you have a lot of video that you want to do that, it's probably worth it. Now I've only tried the stabilization. I only tried it once, and they may be, oh, you should have different settings. Well, I just picked the auto settings that Topaz suggested, just like I picked the auto settings on Warp Stabilizer on Premiere Pro, and I picked the auto settings. I tweaked a little bit on Davinci Resolve. It's just that Davinci Resolve and Warp Stabilizer and Premiere Pro did such a better job than the Topaz AI. Now, is it worth buying? So I just went on the website. I just looked up. If you're like a new customer buying, it's $300. It's $299. Oh, it's too much. I look back. I bought it a year ago, and it was $159. Now I don't know if it's because it was a year ago. I don't know if it's because I have a lot of Topaz products. I didn't have any Topaz AI products, but so for if you can get it for 159, $160, yeah, I think it's worth it. $300, I don't know, unless you just had a ton of 1080p video that you needed to upscale. Does a really good job there. when I upscaled from 4K to 8K, it didn't look that much different to my eye. I asked my wife, she's like, oh yeah, the 8K looks a little better. So I don't know, is a little better worth it? Probably not. I wish it had done a better job on image stabilization. Excuse me. So if it did a phenomenal, if it did better than Warp Stabilizer, it did better than Davinci Resolve on image stabilization, then there might be, yeah, it is worth $300. But I figured a lot of people, I mean, if you have Davinci or Premiere Pro, you're really just getting it for the upscaling of the video. So that it comes down to that question: how important is it to you to upscale your 1080p to 4K? And you know, going from 4K up to 8K. Well, I don't have an 8K TV. My video monitors on my computer aren't made for 8K. So you know, maybe there's that. All right, guys, thanks a lot. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up. It would help my channel. If you found the information helpful or useful, consider subscribing to the channel. And if you do, remember to turn on notifications so that you don't miss when the next video comes out. All right, guys, thanks a lot. We'll see you in the next video.